Tonight on Hip on the Spot News. Update 2.9 is still preparing for release. We check out more upcoming features for DCS World. The Apache FCR details are starting to appear. And we talk about quality of life improvements. This and more on How I Play. Hello virtual pilots, I'm Andre Celesti, and tonight we are going to talk about the latest updates in DCS World. So this week, DCS Open Beta 2.9 remains hidden from us as preparations continue for a later delivery of the next big update for DCS World. Later today, we will wait for Eagle Dynamics newsletter and let's hope we get more information on the upcoming 2.9 features. But until then, let's discuss the latest happenings in DCS World and what to expect with the next update. I usually don't post videos on Friday as watch time is down during the weekend period. But news is news, and I wanted to share my thoughts and findings with you, not to mention that I had some crazy technical issues in the recording room. Hey, things happen. So this week we got a glimpse at the laser warning system for the Apache in a recent video by Wags, explaining how this system warns the crew of threats that are lasing the aircraft. I consider it a must-watch for the Apache users, and not only, as this video showcases a few things that we can expect in 2.9, like grass movement and dust effects under the rotor wash, also showcased before in a DCS short by Edie on their channel. So we are looking forward for visual improvements as well as, let's remember, we know that Edge 2.9 stands for Eagle Dynamics Graphics Engine. So more improvements are on the horizon, if you know what I mean. No? Clouds Petrovich, working progress weather, you know, what's on the horizon? Yes, good. And speaking of future updates, Wags addresses the elephant in the room when it comes to the Apache. The Fire Control Radar, or the FCR. Yes. When? That is the question. Well, we got a confirmation that is not planned for the 2.9 update. At least we know that. But it will not be long after the release of 2.9 update that we can expect to see the FCR implemented for the Apache. Hopefully this year. Plus, we got more details for what to expect when we receive the FCR, as they will first release it with Ground Target Mode or GTM. And this will allow us to detect, track and engage units. It will also work perfectly with the data link capabilities of sending and receiving priority fire zones and no fire zones between primary members. Exciting news for the Apache, and add to that the data link functions that will be delivered with the 2.9 update, and we got ourselves a nice gift for the winter holidays. I will sure make use of the messaging system, spamming Rupesh with all kinds of messages that I cannot share here as this is a family-friendly show. Now let's see what other hidden features we can expect in the next Open Beta update. Remember, we discussed all the announced additions in a previous video, but there must be something more. As even Edie mentioned in their newsletter, that we should expect much more. When it comes to module releases, I won't speculate, but keep in mind that based on information gathered from the Steam database, we did see 2 extra DLCs prepared for the next update. Well, let's keep in mind this is a possible next update, you know? Let's say one of them is a new campaign, maybe even both, but that's all the information we have at this time. We know that the Mirage F1 gets the 2-seater variant. The talented Ismail Yorda, I hope I pronounce your name correctly, otherwise you have my humble apologies, gave us another preview experience with a new Mirage F1BE in a backseat ride over the Marianas Islands. A must-see for those of you interested in this module. I'll link the video in the description down below. The F4E Phantom by Heatblur is progressing well, and let's say, do not expect it in the 2.9 update. At least I don't. The pre-order phase needs to start first, and then we can prepare for the release, if we are lucky, this year. Back in September, we opened a thread on our Discord asking our community out there, what quality of life improvements do we need in DCS World? I know this is a good question. We got a few responses, some more organized, some just out there, and some that are already implemented in one way or another. I picked a few of them, like the ATC system. We know that they are working to improve it and to offer us a better experience when it comes to our interactions in the F10 menu and so on, and some of our users mention it. Now be advised that these are friendly requests if anything could be possible coming in the future, and some of our members said most likely ED already has a list like this. Time is the equalizer as always. So another interesting one is the request for a new rearming refueling UI that features a 3D preview of the aircraft, similar to the one in the mission editor, instead of just a picture. This would be especially helpful with aircraft like the F-15E and the upcoming C-130J, which have more arming slots. And adding to this, it would be nice if players could create and delete custom loadouts in-game instead of having to go into the mission editor each time. Currently, it's a lot of work to create a good loadout without loading the mission editor. I think this is on its way in some form very soon. Now, of course, we got the usual Combined Arms overhaul request, which is a vast subject to open here, but in short, we got a request like enhancing the Combined Arms module in a way that involves significant UI enhancements and the ability to spawn specific vehicles. This could cater to players who enjoy the ground aspect of the game. And before some of our viewers will jump up and say this is a flight sim, stand down. I got you. This is a digital combat simulator. So it is a combat simulator. So yeah, never mind. Additionally to the Combined Arms, implementing features like airlifting vehicles using the upcoming Chinook or C-130 would add a logistic and tightly packed mission dynamic. Again, this one must be around the corner in some way or another. But this is indeed a great thing, as it will truly create a sense of Combined Arms, allowing players to request assistance for C-130 or Chinook pilots to transport vehicles to strategic locations, making for engaging gameplay scenarios. Now, somewhere in the future, we can imagine, this is one of those let's imagine moments. How would it be if we actually get a 3D mission editor similar to Eden in Arma 3 for DCS? As our beloved Sergeant Dev Rupesh is saying, this feature would significantly enhance the experience of placing assets such as SAM sites, infantry units, or AAA guns on rooftops in a better way. Incorporating a gizmo with a XYZ axis would be an important feature. Call us naive, but we maintain confidence in ED's ability to integrate all of these features. These enhancements serve not only the mission creators, but also to players seeking to immerse themselves in the logistic and ground combat aspect of the game, and will attract more people who don't just want to fight in the front line, but also do backside jobs. Okay, that sounded weird for me. Rupesh, can you please Come on, man, like, really? While we are not advocating for a complete transformation of DCS into something like Arma 3, it's important to acknowledge that as a digital combat simulator, the game should strive for a more balanced approach. Focusing solely on aviation can be somewhat limiting, particularly considering modules like Combined Arms that have received a bit less attention. And I got to give it to our community manager, you got some good points out there. We will ask Natasha to send more cookies. Meanwhile, Baltic Dragon gave us some more information on what we can expect from him next update. He is currently still working on a big overhaul of both Raven 1 campaigns that is planned for November and on finishing the Gamblers for the F-16C. He is also preparing the JDAM chapter in the F-15E manual. Then we need to ask ourselves about the multi-threading version, if we need to execute a special argument for multi-threading in 2.9, or will it be integrated by default? What do you think? Leave your comments down below. In other news, the Thrustmaster Viper TQS is now available in shops. No more pre-ordering this baby. Since October the 11th, you can now hit the purchase button and get one. And as we didn't manage to secure one for a review, we need to switch to plan B. Petrovic? Yes, Commander. Commence Operation Snake Eye. Was that one the one where I go and purchase alcohol from Mexico? No. Never mind. Why don't you memorize your operation list? Why? Because I have enough learning to do in the hind these days, so... Alright. It's okay. And that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. Remember to check our sponsor VR Rock for your VR blue light protection and prescription lenses. Many thanks to our patrons that support our channel: Rhinox, Richard Burnside, Steven Adashchik, Pegasus24, Rune Nan, Crash, Santiago Ordonez, Hobo, Dieter Nussbaumer, Tony Prince, Jan Masak, Isot, Rapture Dad 86, Moljam, Dogal Wilson, Brock Guet, and Frank Diaz Del Pino. Thank you guys for your continuous support. It means a lot to me. Remember to leave us a like if you find the video informative, and subscribe to keep in touch with all the latest news on your favorite simulators and games. I am Andre Celesti, reminding you to fly safe, and I'll see you next time.